Hello and welcome to the listening party for Prep, the new album from your favourite UK band Prep. I'm your host Luke Blackall and I'm joined by the band, Guillaume, Llewellyn, Tom and Dan. Say hello everyone.
Hey everyone.
Yo.
Now, we will be giving you an exclusive listen to this fantastic album before it comes out tomorrow. We'll hear from the band. They'll be answering some of your questions, which they'll answer after we've heard the album. We'll also be talking about socks. Yeah, that's right, socks. Yeah. You can use the YouTube chat to send in your questions. We'll get to as many of those as possible. We really want to hear from you. But first, some of my questions. Llewellyn, 5 years. Why so long?
Yeah, I mean, okay, everyone's been so patient. As you know, we've been going like 5 years. We've put out 3 EPs and we've had so much support from everyone, even with only just that and no album. And so this is a big moment. Why has it taken so long? Well, you know, Prep is perfectionists. We've got 4 people with 4 big opinions and we love like crafting the music and just making it right, and it does take sometimes a long time for us to reach that, but yeah, we're you know, we're really proud like we got here, and it's been an amazing journey with everyone there with us as fans. So yeah, we're really happy to get here now.
Guillaume, what were you think you were hoping to achieve with this album? What was the destination you wanted to reach?
I think when we started the band, I personally always felt like it was definitely an album type of band. And yet, for the first few years, we only did EPs. So in my head, I kind of always had this idea of how Prep album should sound, so of different type of rhythms and melodies and all that stuff. And I would like, in an ideal world, I would love this album to show the fans the whole spectrum of what Prep does. There's tracks which I believe will be total crowd pleasers, like fans will really love, and some which show maybe a different side of the band. So yeah, this is kind of what I would like to show, like all the sides of Prep.
Well, we look forward to showing the fans that now. One more question for you, Dan. People may be aware there's been something of a pandemic over the last few months. Can't have been easy making this album. How did that affect? How did lockdown, how did not seeing each other affect making this?
It affected it, I mean, massively, obviously. London was locked down, you know, in full lockdown when we kind of really needed to get to the finishing of the album. I mean, the bulk of the writing of it was done at the end of last year. So we are kind of novices to the kind of process of online collaboration and that kind of thing. So we kind of tried and failed quite a few times to try and get something to work where we could all be working together online.
Yeah, we were on Discord.
Yeah, we kind of found.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then eventually when everything eased off a bit in London, then we you know, I was driving Llewellyn into the studio every day, and we were trying to sort of minimise the amount. It was like driving Miss Daisy, but yeah, just trying to minimise a sort of being on public transport and that kind of thing. But I mean, being in a music studio is a pretty good place because there's you know, you're pretty sealed off from the world. So it was possible to kind of get it done in the end. bit of a rush in the end, but you know, we're here, and
it was good. We had a deadline.
We're chuffed.
Yeah.
Deadline
also,
is good. Is always good.
I mean, a lot of the songwriting did happen just before the pandemic hit. Like Tom, when you, I think you said something about like it was kind of good that a lot of the songwriting happened before the pandemic.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the album was basically written by Christmas, wasn't it? I mean, and then obviously all of this stuff started happening this year, but we didn't really have to think about, you know, what the songs were going to be about. We didn't have to think about, God, you know, were we going to try and reflect this sort of massively changed situation in the music, because all of that was already done and set in stone, and all we had to do really was finish off the
That's
production.
for album number 2, isn't it? Just a depressing album.
Yeah, the dark album. Yeah.
Well, it certainly doesn't feel like that. I think a lot of people are going to be really interested to hear what you've come up with now. So I think there's no better time to start, kick things off with the first track of the album. It's called Turn the Music Up. That was Turn the Music Up, and judging from the comments that are streaming in from around the world, there's a lot of love for that track. Do please use those comments. Send some questions in. We'll be able to answer hopefully quite a few of those at the end of the album listen. But first, Tom, tell us about this track, Turn the Music Up.
Well, there it is, first song off the record.
Woo!
Yeah. It feels kind of unreal. You know, we've been sitting on it for so long, and I don't know about anyone else, I deliberately hadn't listened to it for a few weeks before today. And here we are, all kind of listening to it together, wherever we are. It's amazing. But yeah, what to say about it? I think we always knew that was going to be the first track, like right from the very beginning of the whole process. That kind of atmosphere it has at the beginning, the slightly tropical feel, this bird song. It always felt like the one to kick off the album. And then I guess there was one of the big fights we had was about the middle section. There was this really, this sweet kind of tuned bird solo over it for a while. Which some of us feel just, kind of like a kind of auto-tuned pigeon, which some of us feel it would be nice if it was still there, but no, it feels great. It feels great to listen to it. It feels great to be sharing it, and getting it out there. Very, very happy.
Well, there's loads more to hear. I'd love to talk more about the track. There's lots more to hear, though. So let's move on to the next track, which is one of my favourite, actually, from the album. It's called Wouldn't Wanna Know.
Low grade imitation of how we used to play our future.
Wouldn't Want to Know there, that track, like I say, one of my favourites, absolutely fantastic. Great guitar solo, which has been picked up by some commenters, including Pritz FM. Guillaume, tell us about this track and that solo.
So I always wanted the album to feature a track with that sort of groove, with that sort of feel. So I remember playing Dan and Tom an example from an old record of what I wanted the track to sound like. And we pretty much started sketching a demo right away. And we had the entire thing pretty much sketched out within 24 hours. And then spend the next...
very uncommon.
Exactly. So for us, that's not something that usually happens. And it was also, I believe, the first time Tom was there from right at the start, I think. Tom, is that true?
Yeah. It might be.
So we did the entire thing and then spent the next 6 months refining the little detail, like we usually do. Dan did this killer guitar solo, and Llewellyn then did the string arrangement, which you can hear, and that's about it. Oh, actually, I've got one more thing to say. This track, we always felt, because it came together so quickly, should be the last track on the album. But right a few days before we delivered the album, we decided to put it track 2. So that kind of changed the whole track listing vibe.
Although we did change the groove a bit.
We changed the bass line.
And it suddenly changed, and it felt like track 2 all of a sudden.
So everything happened a bit at the last minute. But it's one of my favorite as well on the album.
Fantastic. Again, another one we could talk about for ages, but we do need to keep listening to this album of yours, Prep. Years Don't Lie is track number 3. Let's hear that now.
Tonight.
If you're just joining us, you are here for the listening party for the debut album Prep from Prep. The track you just heard is Years Don't Lie. Again, loads of love in the comments. Keep those coming in. Keep your questions coming in too. I want to hear about that track, Dan, and that sax solo.
Well, yeah, that was actually one of the oldest demos we had knocking around for the album. It started out, I guess, quite a departure from what we usually do. It had almost a kind of ominous arena rock vibe, which it still kind of retains, but it ended up going through quite a big kind of transformation to the version that is on the album. It was one that was quite hard to get past some of the guys in the band, and we ended up funking it up a little bit. But also, I haven't actually listened to it for a while, and just remembered it now, how we kind of put this synth sound in that comes in at the very beginning of the song, which was a little nod to Hiroshi Sato, who's a city pop artist that we really love, and I think it's his song "Say Goodbye." We often do that in our tunes, you know. We make these paraphrase little snippets of things that we like, and then it just kind of became its own thing, and yeah, it's an epic. It's definitely one of the most epic songs on the record, and we kind of really went full melodrama at the end with a key change and sax solo, and we just really went for it. You know, that's by Mike Lesurge, who's our go-to guy for that kind of thing.
Mike, who did the sax solo on Cheapest Flight, which everybody probably knows.
So he killed it, and there you go. And that's getting its own music video as well, and that's going to be a song that we're really proud of. We're going to give it a little push as well.
Well, look, speaking of videos, we've got another track coming up now. Some people know this video. It's a great one. It's called Carrie, one of the singles. Let's have a watch of that.
Carrie came back. I never knew what time it was. Didn't ask her where she'd been. Watched her in the glass with her makeup cloth, wiping the smile off. She came and laid down. Said maybe we could compromise. Try and throw an anchor out. 'Cause everyone's got somewhere they're pushing you. Where's it all leading to? Just for a day. Let's not think about it. Just for a day. Can
That was Carrie with the great video that goes with it. Llewellyn, tell us more about this one.
Well, the video, I guess, is the first thing to mention. Video by the awesome director M. Cole, who may be watching this in the chat. We did a photo shoot with M for the album, which you guys have probably seen. With M.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said him.
No, with her.
Sorry, her. Ignore me.
We did a photo shoot with M. Cole, which you guys have probably seen, and that seemed to just fit our vibe of the aesthetic of the band and everything so well. And so we got her to do this video, and again, she just smashed it. So usually we have loads of comments and changes with the video, and this one we were just like, this is brilliant. Let's just go with it. Then, of course, on that track, there's quite prominent string arrangement, which is something we hadn't done before. I went away and took what we had and did this whole string arrangement, old school, writing all the notes and everything. And then we had this string orchestra in Northern Macedonia who played it. And the whole thing was us in the studio in London. Then we had this video link to them. They were all socially distanced. They were all wearing the protective visors and all of that. It was really amazing. Me, Dan, and Guillaume were all in the studio together. It was almost quite emotional. We were like,
what a day.
Wow. Yeah, what a day.
That was amazing.
It was incredible. Yeah.
How did you find this Macedonian string orchestra?
I think you found them, didn't you, Dan?
Yeah, I'd sort of sounded them out for a different project a few years back, but they're really good, and I was a little bit apprehensive about how it would work via video link, because I've done strings before in London where you just go to the studio and you're like, cool, but it was so pro and so seamless, and yeah, it sounded great. So we'll probably use them again.
More future work together. Now, we've got to carry on, and on we're going now. Literally, track number 5, On and On.
Seems so sure.
Yeah. Well, I guess so. That one, a lot of you guys will have heard that before. It's already out, and yeah, it's obviously, it's made us really happy to see how well it's going down, how much love it's getting. And what can I say? Well, I think it was a really early favourite for all of us, this one, and it's one of those ones where, the way we tend to work is the others prepare these instrumental demos, which kind of sounded pretty much like that with maybe a bit less flute on it. But as soon as I heard that, this is one of those ones where it all just laid itself out very quickly and kind of obviously. It was very clear for me sort of where it wanted to go, and felt quite French. I don't know if anyone else has got that. But
yeah,
definitely.
A touch of sort of Michel Legrand, sort of Umbrellas of Cherbourg kind of world. And yeah, it had a different title for a while. I can't remember what it was. It had a worse title, a much more complicated title, and then I need to give props to Dan actually for tidying that one up.
I sorted out Tom's dodgy lyrics.
He cleaned that one up to just the straight on and on, which I think works really well for it. Yeah. Great, man.
I believe this is now time to listen to Pictures of You, which you guys probably know already. Have any of you guys...
I don't know how your head works. I think I might have made it worse trying to talk last night when everyone was tired and over the line. Gets harder in the daylight, trying to get the words out right. It's like my mind don't know which way my body's going. Maybe it's a little late to call now. Some bleach sky outside, I wanna tell it to you. Thoughts I can't define, just wanna tell it to you. So fixated, I've been taking myself for a ride. Every time it comes back to you, all these pictures of you, looking at me, looking at you. Keep losing my mind at the end of the night, but it always comes back to you. Thought we were making progress. I only got a few weeks left till this whole thing's over and we can just get back to the way that we were. Hands across the table, lying with a belly full of some talk shows.
All right, so that was pictures of you. I believe we may have lost our presenter. So I'm gonna take his place and tell you a little bit about this song. So you've probably all heard that song before, because that was the first single from the album. And the story goes that Llewellyn and I wrote the original demo of it. It was one of the first track we did. So we actually wrote this track around the time of the first EP.
Yeah, around the time of Cheapest Flight.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But it was just one of these that took a long time to get right. We experimented with the sounds and the melody and the top line too. I think I recorded drums 3 times for that track, even in different studios. So yeah, it was but once we got it, it was properly slamming, and we were all into it. And mainly, I need to mention about the video from David Dutton. David Dutton, is that right? Yes.
Dutton.
Dutton. When Matt, that works at Bright Antenna, our label, told us he knew this guy that was making these 8-bit videos, and he wanted to do one for us, we were really excited. And I remember saying to him, it'd be great if you could incorporate some of the previous album artwork. And man, did he deliver. We couldn't have expected something better. Literally, you get the cheapest flight, you get the guy walking into the cold fire bar, and then walking past the Don't Look Back house. I love this video. It's one of my favorite video we've got. Wouldn't you guys agree?
It's amazing as well to be rendered as a band playing in the bar scene
of course,
as well. That is awesome.
Pixelated prep.
Yeah, that video is wicked. So I believe...
Dion, just thinking, you just mentioned our record label there. I think we should do a shout out, shouldn't we?
Shout out to Bright Antenna
Records, who I think some of you are up at 6 a.m. watching this in the West Coast.
Nice and early. That's why we want to give you a smooth start of the day. And I believe that it's time to go to the next track of the album, the one that comes after Pictures of You. And it's Don't Wait for Me, isn't it?
I think so.
Yes, it is. Let's find out.
Home's not the place I thought it used to be.
All right. Does this work? Can you hear me?
I am, yeah. That is so. That song is. I'm gonna be honest here, and it was heavily inspired, the demo, by a Hall & Oates song called "Wait for Me."
Well, can you hear me now?
Don't wait for me. And
excellent. What I've done is I've changed the microphone to this little iPhone one.
A beat is kind of called. And he'll end up. That's actually what happened with Cheapest Flight, and he ended up.
Yeah, I'm back. So what track?
And making the chorus, Don't Wait.
What have I missed?
Yeah, I mean it's got that real sort of
great. Don't Wait for Me. Perfect. I know we are
fusion kind of influence. Also quite a little bit like the early kind of Prince albums. I did that guitar solo as well, and I was definitely channeling those kind of.
I can hear you.
If you listen to the first few Prince albums, sort of before he became a real sort of megastar, he was doing sort of soul and funk disco kind of records.
Sorry about some audio issues there. That was "Don't Wait for Me," track I think 7. Now Dan is going to tell us about this one.
Sort of arena 80s banger.
3 words.
Yeah, arena 80s banger. So yeah, that it's kind of it sort of remained quite sort of intact and didn't get changed too much from the original kind of demo. So we just kind of whacked a guitar solo on it and boom.
My favorite part of it is actually the when the guitar solo kicks in is the wow.
Oh yeah, anime wow.
Love that. I think we downloaded it from YouTube actually.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So what's next?
I believe next is the stream.
The stream. Let's have the stream.
Drawing shapes on the window, little slits
So there it is. Yeah, that's the stream featuring Miso. I think that got sneaked out on the still image of the CD cover the other day. We're trying to keep it under wraps, but yeah, there she is. Miso, one of our favourite singers, who we met when she came over to London a couple of years ago with Dean, and we did some stuff together in the studio, and then we've seen her since, and we just, we thought that she'd sound perfect on that tune, and
she did.
She was up for it, and she does, yeah. And the other, she made one of my favourite lockdown videos, I think.
Yeah, that was
song
so good.
Alone.
Oh yeah,
In
yeah.
her apartment with a tiny little Dean dancing on the keyboard. It's amazing. Yeah, so we had to have a proper kind of intense slow jam on there. So that's the one really. Yeah, let's kick on to the next one. We're getting there. This is like.
Was coming down all that day we started, trying to dig somewhere deeper than us. Got the look of the heavy-hearted. It's the road that takes you back up, edging out over heavy water, drawing low, something slowing us down. Get the bags, gotta throw them over. Clear your head and reach your hand now. Rain keeps falling, rain keeps falling, till there's nothing under, till there's nothing underneath. Rain keeps falling, rain keeps falling, till there's nothing under, till there's nothing under me. I've been right down, and I've always seen your face. A mirror, like a mirror. We swung back up, found everything in place. All the broken glass swept away. In the chill of a perfect winter, in the snow no one wants to disturb. Past the drift we keep skating into, past the turn that takes you back up. Rain keeps falling, rain keeps falling, till there's nothing under, till there's nothing underneath. Rain keeps falling, rain keeps falling, till there's nothing under, till there's nothing under me. I've been right down, and I've always seen your face. A mirror, like a mirror. We swung back up, found everything in place. All the broken glass swept away. Catching your voice in the echo. Brings like light in an empty space. Keep falling, keep some falling, keep falling, keep some falling, keep falling, keep some falling, keep falling, keep some falling.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so that was The Rain, which we really loved recording. It's interesting being in this band because everybody's like from all these different musical backgrounds. Like, Tom's coming from like I don't know, like a songwriting background.
All over.
all over.
Yeah, don't pigeonhole me.
Yeah, don't put me in a box.
Guillaume is only a DJ. He doesn't do anything
that's
else.
all. I just
Dan
about
only
it.
loves hip hop. He hates it. No. We all like a lot of different stuff. And interesting because Dan is actually part Brazilian, and I didn't really listen to that much Brazilian music before the band. He's like introduced me to lots of stuff. He's just been sort of playing and stuff. And one thing was this guy Lincoln Olivetti, who I think we've all really got into, and hearing like the way he does the horns on his albums, we were like really inspired and wanted to do something. It's a bit of like a nod to that. So we did this horn arrangement that had that vibe, and we got our mates the Killer Horns to record it, which was Mike, who did who also of course did the Cheapest Flight solo and the solo you heard earlier on, Ryan the Mexican, and Tom on trombone. And we had a really cool session. Like, I think at that point we hadn't seen anybody apart from each other or people's, like, partners.
It's true, yeah.
For like months. And then we went into a recording studio and there was like more than 3 of us in the room. We were like, whoa, this is crazy.
It's a pretty small recording studio
It was a pretty small room as well, yeah.
We made those guys work.
Yeah, we really did. They were sweating, those guys. That was cool. It's like a nice to have like a sort of up tempo prep track, but we're gonna take it down. Chill.
It's time for the last track of the album. I may stress. This is it.
Yeah,
this is now
track.
time.
But it's a good one. It's a good one. One of everybody's favourites. Our manager's favourite track actually as well.
Shout out to Will.
Shout out to Will,
this
our
song.
manager. Yeah. So this track is called Danny Came Up. Let's hear it.
Danny Came Up.
Life lived in paragraphs. Love like it's measured on the page. Rub the messy thoughts away. Start again. I heard you settle back down. Done up some old abandoned place. Somewhere no one else can find you. Then he came up, sat right down as he gave me the news. Said he's better off alone. Asked him how you were, but I guess I'll never know. Cracked glass and buzzing lights. Low notes when
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Done.
Yeah, record. Wicked. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I could see we've been watching all your comments, and it looks like you have. Guillaume, do you want to just say a quick bit about Danny Came Up?
Sure. I remember Danny Came Up as being actually quite an old demo of yours, Llewellyn, which same process. I think you and I tried lots of different versions of it for quite a while. I think it was around the Cold Fire days, and we actually ended up doing quite a banging version, but it just didn't feel right. So we did quite...
didn't you do a house version of it?
Yeah, I kind of, I kind of did that. Yeah, but so it took a while until we found our groove, basically, with that song. But then when we found it, suddenly it became this really soft and really smooth track, and we thought it would be a brilliant track to finish the album with. I must say that the electric piano solo in the middle of that song is performed by our man Rye Thistlethwaite, aka Sun Rye. I hope I've said his name right.
Yeah.
Rye Thistlethwaite.
He's a beast.
Yeah, a beast. It was amazing. We're really, really lucky to have had him play for us on the track. And I also need to mention the trio of backing vocalists, which are all friends of mine. First lady on the track is Obi Frankie, who I toured with George Fitzgerald. There's also Khadija Kamara, who I did a lot of house music with in the past. And then last but not least, my beautiful wife, Zarif, which I recorded...
She's a very good friend of yours.
Who I recorded just right here in this room. And that's it, guys. There you have it. The whole album.
Yeah.
10 songs.
10 songs.
Yeah.
10 songs. And it was great. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I haven't sat down and listened to the whole thing and how it flows and everything, for ages. And it's, it's cool.
Yeah, it's been really cool.
We did a good job.
Unfortunately, we lost. I mean, you may or may not have noticed we did lose our presenter for about half of the broadcast. Our song's just so fire that apparently his laptop just blew up, and
just could not handle.
Yeah, we couldn't get him back online. So, Luke, we're sad to see you go, and we're kind of having to improvise and do the rest of it ourselves. But
it's all good.
It's good.
It's all good.
Do that.
Yeah,
it's prep. It's prep all now.
We're pros.
So yeah, please, we do have some questions we've taken from the chat, but if you've got any burning questions, I'm going to be watching it, so put your question there. And first question, just to kick us off, Tom, who is Danny and why did he come up?
Who is Danny? I mean, that's the big one.
That is the big one.
I wish I could answer that. I can't answer that, to use another prep title. No, Danny is a kind of... I think Danny's a friend who's having a bit of a shit time. And I think there's a bit of sort of emotional entanglement of all kinds going on between two people and other people who aren't in the room. And yeah, it's I mean, like with a lot of prep songs, I feel like it's a mixture of kind of real stuff that's happened and people I know and stuff that's kind of gone on in my life, and it all gets mixed up, and then it becomes these songs which kind of feel very real. And Danny, I can kind of picture the room that song's happening in, even though I don't think it's a place I've ever been in. But so Danny's kind of real, but also a bit not real. I guess that's prep. That should go on the poster.
Yeah, I mean, someone did ask,
not real.
Someone did ask what's with all the names?
Yeah, I mean, there must be at least 10 songs now with someone's name in the title.
People have names, people have names. You've got to give them the dignity of a name.
There's only 10.
Yeah.
The next album will only be names. That's my prediction.
Yeah. Concept album.
Okay, so I've got a question here from Enlon10. Maybe this is one for Dan. It seems like you really struck gold with your collabs, Corey One, Sun Rai, etc. How did you come to contact with these artists, and what is the creative process with them?
I mean, it's always just very informal, We in the music business, everyone has managers, everyone has lawyers, everyone has labels, and the best way to actually get stuff to happen is to just just be personally in touch with people. Like, in fact, I would say actually the only time that's not really happened has been with Rai, who to be honest, he wasn't familiar with us, but we kind of just emailed him because we are big fans of his playing, and kind of just, you know, he was kind enough to reply to us. But
we had kind of met him, hadn't we, at a festival?
I didn't personally, but yeah, I don't know if any of you guys did, but yeah, right, yeah. I mean, you know, with everyone else, it's just been a sort of mutual appreciation thing, you know, where we both sort of fans of each other's music, and it's kind of a sliding in the DMs kind of thing.
Yeah, we've got a question here from Francis Gutierrez. Are you going to do a feature with Tatsuro Yamashita?
Oh. Well, I would love to answer that. We have been trying to for probably now close to 3 years. We have asked our partners in Japan and various friends and producers to put us in touch, and it's something that I believe, that I hope one day will happen, but still not today. So
I think there's some work to be done, isn't there? It feels like there's maybe a route to go down to sort of get to him, and you know, we're some way down that route.
Yeah. So we've heard.
Tramping on. Yeah. But we'd love to. I mean, that'd be one of the ultimates.
Yeah, he's a hero.
Incredible.
Of us,
yeah, legend. And just on that, we've got Pamela asked, who would be like a great collab to have next?
Oh,
who wants to take that one?
Well, Llewellyn, why don't you take that?
Tyler, the Creator. I think that would be the ultimate.
Let's get Tyler, the Creator.
Tyler, the Creator. I mean, are we going to get Tyler, the Creator? That would be
next record.
That would be sick.
You never know who's watching. You know.
You never know who's watching. If
Tyler, the Creator's dad might be a fan of Prep.
I might know Tatsuro Yamashita as well. He's
if anybody
the
knows
most connected dad in the world.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah,
this is us asking.
So guys, make it happen.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Okay. Sifaru wants to know, are you guys wearing proper trousers or shorts?
Good. That's a great question.
I am wearing jeans, but I have doubt about the rest of you
I'm also
guys.
wearing jeans, and I don't need to prove it to anyone.
I'm wearing trousers. I'm wearing slippers. I'm going to put that out there.
I am also wearing slippers.
Yeah. But
it's pretty cold. We're in London.
It's all official, you know, clothing going on. Newsreader pranks.
Yeah, I'm just wearing my my joggers. Okay, I've got, maybe this is a question for me actually. It's about the album art. Well, one Squirenat asks, is the building on the cover inspired by the Pullman Paris Montparnasse Hotel?
So great question.
Hold on, is that the gigantic building by Gare de Montparnasse in Paris? Because I think I know that building. It's enormous and not specifically inspired by that. But
we don't know, I guess.
Well, we should actually ask Sam.
We should ask Sam, yeah. So just to do shout out to Sam Coldy, who has been doing all of our artwork from the beginning, and now it's turned into this like city almost, like where you can kind of explore it or maybe drive outside to the desert and come back, and it's different shots from different bits. Prep World. There's actually going to be a calendar. Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only in Japan, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Okay, if you're in Japan, you'll be able to buy the calendar, which is going to feature loads of the artwork.
It's going to feature all the artwork, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to feature all the artwork, which is really exciting.
And that's actually the first place it's all been collected, isn't it? I think that's the first time that's happened.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, should we mention, does anyone want to talk about the merch?
Now's a good time to talk about those socks.
Guillaume, maybe you could talk about the socks.
Well, what can I say? You know, it was your idea, Lou. You came up with the design and the concept of socks. I never thought about that, but I thought it was an excellent idea. And the design that you did, I think, is stunning. So it must be said, though, that we don't have the socks yet. So when you guys receive them, we'll probably receive ours at the same time.
I want to give Prep socks as Christmas presents.
I would love to give
every
Prep
member
socks,
of my family.
But it looks like we may have to order them ourselves from our own website. So yeah, but those socks-
we finally kind of upped our game on the merchandise, you know, and made a proper, you know, website. We've been getting bored of going to the post office ourselves with stacks of records and being like, ugh. But now we got a lovely company to deal with it, and it's all lovely. And you can get your bundles, you get your vinyl and CD and socks. Boom.
And socks. But there will be more. I must say that there's only socks at the moment, but there's more in the works. We're just, as I'm sure you can imagine, very picky about the details and design. And but there will be more. There will be more, including some pretty,
We're working
funny.
up from the bottom. Start at the socks.
Start the socks. Next will be trousers. You know, and then a belt. And then one day we might get to like a hat, eventually.
Who knows?
A drone, maybe.
A drone.
Okay, one for Tom from Gypsy. Why do your songs cure my anxiety?
Oh.
Yeah, Tom.
I mean,
what
why?
an amazing thing to hear. That's
a great thing to hear. Yeah, that's
they
really
listen
nice.
to Prep when they want to chill out or they want to feel better or whatever. Like, what do you think about that?
Well, yeah, I think that's like one of the best things I could hear as, you know, someone who makes music. Well, for all of us, I think that's an incredible thing to hear. Why do I think Prep might work like that specifically? I don't know. I think something that it definitely does for me emotionally is it combines this world of sound that's kind of got nostalgia in it, and there's something familiar and reassuring about all of that. But I hope it also sounds kind of vital and like it's sort of now and meaningful, and it's got, you know, real emotional resonance. And also it does this thing of underneath these quite kind of glossy, often up-tempo, kind of groovy tracks, it puts sort of, you know, songs where the lyrics are often a bit more sad and melancholy, and so maybe there's something reassuring about that, you know, taking sort of quite sad stories, sad feelings, and putting them in a world where they feel they're being kind of acknowledged, but they're also under control somehow. I don't know. But that's, I find Prep a very comforting place to spend time.
I think it's really, you know, it's just the best. It's the best feeling when you make music and you put it out into the world. You know, because a lot of people never actually put out their music into the world. So it's like, that is an amazing thing. But then to hear that it affects people and it starts to, just to hear that that I played this song when I was on holiday. You know, it's really the best thing you can hear as a musician, that your music is soundtracking like people's lives, the good moments, the bad moments, and helping them kind of get through things is so awesome. Like,
and it's amazing to have, you know, that's what today is giving us, because, you know, we normally would get to feel that. Well, I mean, I guess, you know, we get to see the comments and all of that on YouTube and where people are listening, but when we get to play live, that's when we really see reactions and we get to feel that connection with people. And, you know, today is like a kind of, you know, sort of version of that for us, you know, to be listening through to the album with all of you guys. So
You're wicked.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. I'm just going to ask two more questions, because I know that we don't want this to go on all day. But loads of people in the chat are saying, "What's your fandom name? I.e., what are you guys called?" You guys are the Smooth Crew.
Yeah.
Smooth Crew.
Smooth Crew. That's
Crew.
Yeah, the Smooth Crew, and you guys are the Smooth Crew, and we're part of the Smooth Crew, and you're part of the Smooth Crew. So,
you know, maybe we might even drop some merch in the future that reflects that.
Maybe
Smooth
some
Crew.
socks.
But in the meantime, what we do have,
some towels.
What we do have is a playlist.
That is
Spotify.
true.
Is it Smooth Crew playlist?
Of course, yeah. Which I put together, as I'm sure you can tell.
And we're grateful for that.
It's very good. Yeah,
We acknowledge that.
is the name. So I'll just maybe I'll ask one of the kind of penultimate question, which is, when are you guys coming to wherever it is, wherever in the world? So obviously, you know, obviously we had loads of touring planned, and we were really wanted to support this album, and we really wanted to play you guys the songs live. And so we're all completely upset and gutted that we can't do it for reasons that I'm sure everybody's aware. All we can say is that we will be back. We'll be back almost certainly next year, hopefully next year. and we are just monitoring the situation and all the different travel advice and advice from, the public health and everything. And as soon as it's safe to get out and be on the road, we'll be there and we'll be coming and playing a gig for you.
Yeah, it's the thing that we are missing the most. And it's been heartbreaking to have to cancel so many shows that would have been incredible this year. But as soon as we can, that's the best answer we can give, isn't it, annoyingly?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. So just to finish up, maybe on a slightly more positive note, I want to just ask each of us what our favourite track is and
good
why.
question.
So, since you seem very enthusiastic, Dan, why don't you go first?
Deal with it.
My favourite track is Carrie. And
why is that?
I just think it's the most different sounding of the songs that we've done before. A lot of people have picked up on the kind of ELO-iness, the Paul McCartney-ness, and it's just something where as soon as it comes on, I feel really good, man. I feel good. So that is my vote, Carrie.
Wicked. How about you, Guillaume?
I would say for me, the current favourite, I have a few, but the current favourite is Wouldn't Wanna Know. This song for me ticks all the prep boxes. It's got the groove, it's got the solo, it's got the arrangement, it's got the... I don't know, I just love it. I'm also very, very happy with the bass line. Dan and I spent an entire day putting together note for note. Reminds me a bit of Stevie Wonder. And I just see it as, in a way, dare I say, the new Cheapest Flight.
Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa, that's big talk.
Yeah,
big talk.
I love this song. I don't get tired of it.
Wicked. Tom?
I mean, it really, it's a coward's way out. It really does depend on my mood. But I'm going to stick my neck out and say, I think Years Don't Lie is one that just gets me in the gut every time. It's, again, like Dan, it's a bit different from the other songs. I can remember the first time he played me that demo, and I could just sort of see it happening on a stage with an audience there, and I could feel all of that live excitement in it. I'm really pleased with the words on it, and it's got a key change. It's got a key change.
Who doesn't like a key change?
Which it didn't have for a while. That was gone from the story for a little too long for my taste.
That one as well, it is pretty gutting not to be able to play that live.
It'll happen, and that'll be a
I need to learn it first, but when I learn it, then I can play it live.
I think that's true for all the songs. Wicked. And my favourite song is the first track on the album, Turn the Music Up, which, I don't know, there's just something about that song. I love that song. I
love it too.
It just works. Like, everything is just so complete on it. I love how, like, the bird song and the weird sounds at the beginning, and like, it just seems to have everything, and it's got a chorus that's really satisfying, and it's a sort of, it's not like, I don't know, it's a very characteristic track, I guess. Maybe it's not going to be a track that's like a single, but it really works, and I think people, as they listen to it more, are going to really, that's going to become like a favourite.
Yeah, we should make we'll do a post or something, next week, and just asking. It'd be really interesting to hear what everyone's favourite track is.
We want to know that.
Yeah.
It's fun, but that song, Turn the Music Up.
We forgot to mention.
I was just going to say, it's kind of it's
no, go
one
for
that,
it.
like, because as I'm sure everyone can imagine, working out the album order, the track sequencing was a nightmare. There was a lot of, everyone had their own version, there was a lot of squabbling, but we all had Turn the Music Up as the opening track the whole time, and I think that's because we all feel it feels like it really represents us in lots of important ways.
I think there's I didn't get to talk about that song in the playback, but that song is actually the stuff that kind of got put on top of it, like the birds, is really inspired by the Pacific album, which is one that you really know if you're a city pop fan. It's really like almost listening to like a nature documentary or something, because it takes you to this like Pacific Island, you know, really puts you in a place. Particularly the opening track with the kind of synthesizers where they're kind of mimicking bird sound, and yeah, as soon as that intro starts, we're all like, this is what we want that album to start with, you know, because it just pulls you in.
And I was going to say, there is one final thing about this track which we all forgot to mention. This is the first prep track on the album, and also that we've ever done, where we all sing.
Oh yeah,
we do all sing. Yeah,
all four of us.
Low in the mix.
The backing vocals.
Yeah.
There we go.
Wicked. There we go. Well, guys, I think this is it. We started with a host and he ended with me. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I don't actually even know how to end this thing.
I know.
There's no button for me to press. I'm guessing the guys, the dudes backstage at production.
We're going to have to wait.
Isn't it?
What we're going to do is we're all going to wave bye. Smooth crew. See you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Enjoy the record.
Enjoy the record.
Bye.
Bye,
See you
guys.